So this is my second experiment for creating content consistently as a projector while also honoring the different elements of my human design. And so the reason why I want to make this video right now, I'm Splenic Authority, is because something very interesting just happened and I want to reflect on it. I want to share about my process, and I also want to cement my process for myself for future videos, for future content creation strategies. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run you through what I just did to create this last video. And actually, I've already posted the last video. Like, that's how much I am experimenting with this system. And then after I finish this video right now, I'm going to post it right away as well. So yeah, I was literally just laying in bed, just woken up, and I have 2 injured knees right now. So I've been doing these exercises right when I first wake up in the morning and then right before I go to sleep at night. So I was doing my exercises and I created this little mini workout routine out of it, just like it kind of organically emerged, which is also very much in my human design. Because if I were to sit down and try and write out a workout program, which I've done in the past, it doesn't always work out. Sometimes it's a bit too complicated. It's not very realistic, I find. And maybe I could experiment with that more. I could write down the workout routine and then put it into practice, like the 1-3 aspect, and then find out that oh, actually this is way too long and doesn't work. And then make my adjustments, right? But how cool that it just organically evolved and came through me, and that I've been doing this workout routine. And then I had the thought, this is getting back to the point of, I'm oh, I gotta record this, right? We're in our social media experiment era. So I'm gonna record it. There's no pressure. I didn't say I was gonna put out a video. I didn't say I was gonna do a workout routine. Literally no pressure at all. And that's gonna be the theme here, is what I have my root center defined. I know that's a pressure center. And I also have my head center undefined, and that's also a pressure center. And so going back to the root center, when I have gate 52 and it's in my incarnation cross, so it's a really important gate for me. And I think it's actually my sun gate, which is the most important gate, right? Anyways, we'll talk about all of that in other details in other videos. But yeah, getting back to gate 52, I'm a chill woman, okay? What I like to take my time. I like to do things slowly. I very much embody the turtle energy, tortoise energy. I take my time with things, okay? And that's very symbiotic with the gate 52 energy, right? So whenever I'm living my life and someone is rushing me or putting pressure on me to do something at a certain time or at a certain speed, that's an indicator to me that something about this situation is not correct. And that's where you have to dive deeper into it. Don't just write it off as oh, this person isn't good for me, or this job isn't good for me, or this scenario isn't good. Analyze it further, break it down and be okay, maybe it's the circumstance. Maybe it's when we are at a certain place together, you and this person, and then this side of this person comes out and you're oh, that, I don't like that at all. They rush me all the time. Maybe don't do that thing with that person, right? Make it nuanced to the sense that even if it's your job and you're feeling really rushed or really pressured, how can you adapt the different elements within your job to take that pressure off, right? Okay, so this is relevant if you have I guess also an undefined root center, because you really do feel pressure with your undefined root center as well. I swear the universe just communicates with me. Okay, little side quest, little side note before I get back into it. I was just sitting here when I sat down to make this video, which I'll talk about at the end. A feather popped up. I just made my bed, and I was like, oh yeah, that's a sign that this is right. Okay. And then also, because I was getting off on a little bit of a tangent, the lights outside like automatically come on, and they like turned on right at that moment. And I went, right, I'm getting off track. Okay, I got to get back onto the point. So I just wanted to add those little things because I think that they're cute, and they actually just like are just such a lovely part of life that we don't acknowledge as much as we should. So all those little nuances are ways of the universe communicating with you and guiding you, like putting you onto the path and helping you along the way. These are all indicators of like if something is going well. And also there's indicators that if something is not going well or something is like not correct for you. Okay. But that's a video for another time, a story for another time. Okay. Okay, we're getting back to the like not having pressure on us. Like if I had like the pressure that I put on myself yesterday, let's say, to be like, oh, I'm going to record that workout that I've been doing, that little routine. I'm going to record that when I wake up tomorrow. I would feel no creativity to do it. I would be like pressured. It probably wouldn't flow really nicely. I would probably have to like start and stop a bunch of times, and then I would just end up not doing it and end up not posting it. And then here's the caveat. Here's like the big piece is I would feel really badly about myself, Like I would be like, why can't I just like set a plan and follow through with that plan, right? The hallmark, like low vibrational shadow effect of having an undefined will center, the follow through, what's the word? Quagmire. Follow through quagmire. That's what it is. And you know what? It's not that we can't follow through. It's that the circumstances have to be just right for us to follow through. And I think it's protection. Like I think all of these little things that make us who we are and all of these little elements in human design, actually, especially the things that don't work out really well or that we like would consider as like not great qualities or like self-deprecating aspects, like having an undefined will center, those are actually the areas that are, I think, placed there specifically for us so that we don't live our lives in a way that is not in alignment with what we're meant to be doing, right? Like that's always the guidance. Are you in alignment with what you're meant to be doing, with how you're meant to be expressing yourself, who you're meant to be interacting with, how you're meant to be showing up, right? That's the alignment. And then you go, if you're not doing that, then your life isn't going to feel very good. Like you're going to feel sad. You're going to feel depressed. You're going to feel like out of sorts because you are out of alignment, because there are elements in your life that are not being respected in the way that they need to be respected, right? When you respect who you are and how you show up in the world, then you can be happy. Then you can be in alignment. It's like the whole square peg, round hole thing. Stop trying to make things fit that just don't fit, right? Okay, that's complete. Now we're going to get back to just the process that I did, right? So I'm laying there and I'm like, inspiration is coming up, got to record a video. So I'm now experimenting with the threshold, right? I've talked about this before, the like creative, inspired threshold of action that happens with splenic authority. And this is specifically when you're like creating content. I'm not doing this from like the perspective of, if there's something unsafe in your environment. I'm literally doing this from like something I've just intuitively discovered that like when I am going to create anything, you work on a project, you go and you work on a business, you go and you create content, whatever it is that you are creating. If you have splenic authority, you're going to have a creative window when that impulse to act happens. And then when that window, it's like a portal. It's definitely like a portal. It's like this portal of creativity opens and you have a time frame to do what you need to do in that time frame, the portal, to create the video, to edit the video, to share the video. Hang on a second. Okay, then things are happening outside. A second ago, everything was chill, everything was quiet. Window was open, nobody was in front of me. Now all of a sudden we have children. So I'm going to take that as an indicator. I got to keep going on this, okay? Because I don't want to miss my threshold. I'm still in the threshold. I'm still in the portal right now. And I'm sorry, I wish I could stop it and listen to how loud the kids are outside, but I just can't do it. So we're just going to have to bear with me here as I continue to go through this. And hopefully the kids will leave or go somewhere else or just like be quieter, you know? Okay. So the first thing that I thought of was like, what is the absolute bare minimum thing I need to do to be ready to do this video, right? There were a couple things. I had just woken up, right? I had my night guard in and I was like, I literally even tried to start recording with my night guard still in. That didn't work. So I had to take my night guard out. And you know what? Night guards are sexy. Okay. I just want to say that is that wearing your night guard is the sexiest thing that you can do. Okay. Because that means number one, you've either had like Invisalign or braces or something, and you've straightened your teeth. I had Invisalign. Okay. And I wore my Invisalign religiously and I wore my night guard religiously, right? And then also the other thing is that it stops you from grinding your teeth. I have actually a lot to say about teeth in another video, but night guards are like literally the sexiest thing that you can do. And so if you're not wearing your night guard right now, you're literally choosing not to be sexy. Okay? So like don't do that. But I acknowledged that the universe was trying to tell me get back on point. Okay, so I did. So took my night guard out. The other thing I did was I had to put my hair up because I sleep with my hair out. Otherwise, it fucks with all the fascia in my skull. And if you sleep with your hair up, you should try taking it out at night. It'll actually change everything. So I had to put my hair up, had to pee. Okay. So those are like the 3 minimum things that I had to do. If I was going to do any other thing, I would be interfering with my threshold because energy is like a very interesting thing. It's like it can be channeled or it can be dispersed. And so when you are in this creative portal, the energy is very focused. It's very channeled. Okay. And the second that you start to go, okay, like I'm literally like, this is my pajama top. Okay. I literally was like, if I were to go and think like, oh, I'm going to get changed or I'm going to like, I didn't even brush my hair. Okay. I literally didn't even brush my hair because then I would probably have spent too much time trying to get it like exactly right because I'm a little bit of a perfectionist and I've got a sprinkle of OCD, you know? So I definitely would have spent too much time doing that. And then the energy would have been dispersed, right? And like, forget about putting on makeup. Like, none of my videos are going to be able to have makeup unless I happened to already be wearing makeup when I had the idea to do the video. That's literally the only time. And I've accepted that. Okay. I have just accepted that because it is what it is. I would never be able to go and like throw on some makeup right now. I would 100% like puncture the creative balloon by doing that. I also really hope that my audio is still working and there's no way of me testing it right now because I noticed in the first couple videos ago, my audio cut out for some reason, even though I like cleared my phone. I had a bunch of space before I started. So I'm just really hoping that that was like a little glitch and that everything's going to be smooth with my audio because it works so well to just pause in between. That's exactly what I need to do. Okay. So if my audio cuts out at any point, hang in there with me. Okay. It probably will come back on. And the last thing I did as well is I threw on some shorts. And I'm mentioning this because I was just like in my like underwear and I was like I even considered doing that because I didn't want to like miss the threshold that I was like, and also like you can like see muscles pretty well and pretty nicely, and so I was like, oh, like maybe I'll just do it like this. And then I was like, actually hang on, that's a little bit too risque. I'll put on some shorts for the community, you know, like I'll do that. And then another thing that's really cool that I actually learned today while doing this experiment was I can start. Man, it is so funny. The second that I start to get like a little bit off topic, like I go on little tangents, but like if I were about to go on like a big tangent, something happens in the universe that says, girl, keep it on track, keep it on point. And like this big, like loud truck went to go just drive by, and I couldn't even continue talking. So staying on point, something I discovered was I can stop the video and do little edits, but it has to be like back to back to back, right? Like I can't get off the screen. So basically what I did, because I had these different views that I wanted to show. I wanted to show like how to set up by having a pillow underneath your legs. And then I had to turn the camera, like, you know, it had to be like, I don't know what the views are called, but like you go and either the camera is facing outwards or it's like on selfie view, I guess. So I had to show first, like from my perspective, what I was looking at. And then I had to show myself because I had to show like the position of my head and the rest of my body. So I couldn't just pause the video because for whatever reason, I can't actually flip my camera. It's like an older phone that I'm working with. But anyways, that's beside the point. And so I had to stop the video. So I went, okay, so these are going to be different clips that I have to put into CapCut. Fine, I accept. We're going to test it out. We're going to see how it goes. Okay. Because I learned that as long as I've recorded the videos back to back, then I have to go straight into CapCut. Like I can't wait. I can't do anything else. I'm still in the portal. I'm still in the threshold. So I did that, right? And actually another thing that I did, because there was a couple times like I accidentally took a photo of myself, and then I also accidentally hit record and like panned my room. And so those like little things I actually deleted before I went over to CapCut, because it's just like overwhelming, you know, like I'm just like learning all of this. I don't know like what to do really. I'm just figuring it out. And so when I look at the screen and there's like 10 different videos for me to look at, I'm like, oh my God, I don't even know what this is. Like it's so overwhelming. So by me deleting anything that I like didn't want to like go and select all of the clips and put them into CapCut, yeah, so then it was just like cleaner for me. Yeah, and then actually now I'm just thinking, because like that works. So if we're just like gently going to like gradually progress and like expand our skills, if I were, let's say, wanting to do like a little reel, right? And I wanted to show like different clips, I would either have to do it like I just did in one sitting, where like the clips are back to back to back to back, right? So that allows me to show like different perspectives of like changing the camera view. But then also, let's say, like, imagine I wanted to make a video of like me going throughout my day, like doing a process or whatever. And so obviously, like, there may be things in between. I could probably just put that in like an album or something, so that when I am going to do, oh, I don't know if I could do that because it just goes straight to your main page. I don't know, man. I'm not going to go too quickly, too far. Okay. We're actually going to put a pause on that because instantly I have no more insight about it. So it means I'm not meant to do it yet. And then another interesting thing I want to share is because when I was actually sitting there now putting all of these clips together, it was like really simple. And I also didn't overanalyze it. I was like, okay, I'm just going to take out what I just got a notification on my phone. I don't know if that messed with the audio, so I decided just to pause it in case. Anyways, so I don't know. So what I did was I only took out the pieces that were absolutely necessary, because like with the universe, okay, I actually just got another notification that my battery has 20%, and I have a portable charging thing, but my microphone is plugged into it. So we got to just do this in the next 20% of battery. Okay, cool. Because that's like what I said before. If I spent too much time like doing my hair or doing whatever, obsessing and focusing on perfecting the video, then I would veer off course and I would like puncture my creative threshold, right? So I want to keep it sealed. I want to keep it intact, right? Keep it protected. So when I was editing, I was like, I literally just did the absolute minimum editing possible to make the video make sense, you know? So, anyways, and I literally exported it and uploaded it to YouTube like within a second. And now the last thing I want to mention is that while my video was uploading, I did another experiment because my digestion is nervous, buzzing digestion. And so I really benefit from doing something while something else happens. And so when you look at it from a food context, like from an eating context, I like to like watch TV or like listen to a podcast or like watch something while I'm eating. That's like a really like, I actually don't like eating unless there's like some sort of like activity happening around me, which I've really, really, really like noticed and understood and also kind of like always known. Like I've always done that in my life. And then the second that I found where it was in my human design, I was like, ah, that makes perfect sense. I also like to listen to something while I'm cooking dinner. And I don't like watching something because I get too distracted. So I have to be like listening to music or listening to a podcast. But if I'm not, I'm like astronomically slower in my production, like in my work. So what I did, instead of just waiting for my video to upload onto YouTube, I actually used that as an opportunity to be like, okay, I think I'm still in the portal. I think I'm still in the threshold. I'm just going to record this video that I'm doing right now. And what do I need to set up? Like, this is a question. What are the minimum things that I need to set up so that I can make this video? Plus, I'm also losing sunlight here because I was doing like the natural light thing with the window open, kind of like having nature come in while still being inside. That's another strategy. Okay. Next is, so I'm like, okay, I got to make my bed for sure because I'm going to sit and face the window because I've heard in other videos that having natural light face towards you is a good like way to set up your videos, which I can fully agree. And we'll be doing this. So, and I also didn't plan any of this. And like this scene that I've set up right now, excellent. I will absolutely be recording more videos sitting exactly right here with this background. Like, awesome. And I didn't plan this. I didn't test anything out. I actually did do a few tests, but I didn't like make a whole plan. It just happened naturally, organically, effortlessly, right? Why are we working harder than we need to? Just work within the threshold that you need to so that you're supercharged with energy so that it doesn't actually even feel like you're doing work. Isn't that like the projector hack, actually? Isn't that the way to be a projector and honor your energy while not being burnt out is to just do things that are in alignment and to work within an energetic threshold so that the work that you actually are doing literally feels so easy. Like this was actually like the easiest thing I've ever done. It was so easy because it flowed. It flowed. Flow state and projectors, that's a whole thing. That's a whole concept. Okay, we'll come back to that in another video. Got to check my battery. And so my video was actually uploading pretty quickly. So I did this all in a matter of minutes. Okay. I made my bed. I was like, that's important. Then I went and I just kind of like, I have stuff. I have lots of books and things on my whatever. So I just looked at it and just tidied it up a little. I took away the things that didn't need to be there. Right. And I just put them where they needed to go. It was very easy actually. And so then I'm also looking over here because I was sitting over there when I had all of these ideas. So the way that I'm actually helping myself remember this right now is by looking to where I was. Actually, I should move the microphone. So that's another thing. If you, sorry. Last thing that's really important that I want to mention is I actually was like, shoot, I don't know if I can change the scene because I had all of the ideas for this video that I wanted to say in it while I was laying in my bed. And I was like, man, I think I should just like start hitting record right now. Because I was like losing the concepts as I was like going to move to the next thing. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to like trust that this is what I meant to do. And then the feather happened. So that was the confirmation, because I was able to do it, but because I stayed within the confines of the threshold, and because I didn't move too far, like I didn't like go to a whole nother room. I'm still here, and I'm still able to look back to where I had the ideas. So I'm close enough to like the source of the creativity that I'm able to like transmit it over here, if that makes sense. Now, the other thing is I had this like little light that I brought. Oh, maybe I'll turn on this light. Whoa. Yeah. Anyways, I turned on this light and I was like, it's like artificial, artificial light. Oh, maybe I'll put it down here. I don't know, man. I'm figuring it out. Can I turn down the volume on this? Anyways, we'll go with that. I'm not a super fan of an artificial light. I don't know. We're gonna just leave it the way that it is. But yeah. Anyways, I was gonna use that light, and then I like instantly, and like this is also like the spleen, like knowing what works right away, and then also knowing what doesn't work right away, right? And so like I turned on the light, and I was like, oh no, absolutely not. And then I didn't use it because I had the natural light. Also, I set up this like right here, like this is literally like the perfect spot to record a video, and it just happened so naturally. I pulled my blinds down because you are like resting on a little tripod thing on my windowsill, which is perfect. And actually, I can't bend my knees too much. Nope, that didn't work. I tried to come closer. Anyways, I'm also able to just rest my feet on the little heat, whatever that's called, baseboard like heater thing, because I can't bend my knees very much, and so it'd be pretty uncomfortable for me to stay in this position while I was recording this video. Also, I hear you, car. I know I'm getting off tangent. Okay, we're gonna get back on track. Oh my goodness, there is another bee that just flew outside my window. What the heck is going on here? I love bees. Bees are the freaking best, okay? So like this bee is coming to communicate with me to tell me that you're right on track. And also the reason why I'm saying all of these like little things that seem pretty chaotic is because these are the things that you just don't see in people's videos, like people sit down and they like pump out content, and it's like, how do you do that? So I want to show like how, and specifically from the lens of human design and from the lens of being a projector, right? Like all of these little things, it's obviously very like personal to my human design. It's very much about like what my configuration is, but like that's the number one thing that I want to share on my channel, is because my human design is so like solo focused. Like being a 1-3 is very much about like my personal experience, sharing like who I am, what I like, what I've learned, and how that relates to like my story and like my person, right? But the benefit of doing that is that when someone watches a video like this video and they have the same element in their human design that I've just expressed, like talking about having, buzzing nervous digestion, right? That was something else I wanted to come back to actually. But when you see someone and how they are operating in their life with that component, then you're able to take that and you're able to adapt it for your own life. You're able to go like, okay, these are the things that worked, and those are the things that actually like caught my attention and caught my interest, right? And then when you put that into practice into your own life, some of the things I share right here may work really well for you, or they may actually just bring some more insight into your own personal experiment, and then be like, oh, okay, cool. That worked. This little part worked. I hear you, airplane. I'm wrapping it up. Okay. that little part, yeah, that little part that worked for you would be like, cool, you found something that directly relates to something that I shared. That's awesome. But also, then you could be like, oh, actually, maybe this part works, but then I had to change this other aspect. And now you have something really unique to yourself, to your design, and to your like personal makeup that you can actively practice in your life to have you just experience more flow, more symmetry, more alignment, more joy, like that's the goal, right? That's really the goal, is just to like feel better about ourselves throughout our lives, right? Feel more in alignment, feel more connected, feel more like authentic, feel more genuine, right? But back to the last point about buzzing nervous digestion. So when my video was uploading, I did those few things. I made my bed. I grabbed this tripod. I grabbed that light, thought I would use it. I actually kind of am using it right now. Then, you know, changed the blinds, opened the window. Like I did these things to set up the scene, right? And they just happened organically. And bada bing, bada boom, I found how I can now start recording. So in the future, when an idea comes to me, if I'm in my room, like, oh, maybe we're going to have to set this up like different pods, like different areas of creating content. Okay. Pod number one, in my car. That's a scenario, cracking my sunroof a little bit, having my window open slightly, and being in my car. That's one location where I can film videos. Another location is right here, is on my bed, in my room, right? But specifically being set up in this way with the tripod here on the windowsill, sitting on the bed, and with my knees. Like it's also nice to have your knees or your like feet slightly elevated on something because it takes the pressure off of your hips. And I have this genetic condition. It's called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. And it's a connective tissue like disorder. There's a lot of things that go into it. And actually, I am going to be sharing about this on this channel because I've come up with a lot of lifestyle management strategies just out of necessity, just like purely because I had to. And if I didn't know about this condition, like I wouldn't know that I needed to do all of these things. And honestly, I would be in just like so much pain all the time. And like I am in a lot of pain all the time, but I manage it. I manage it. Okay. So that's really like the best thing that we can do when we have like a chronic condition. You just got to manage it. You got to be like the best motherfucking manager of that shit that there is. Right. And then you'll be able to work with it. And then actually it'll give you a lot of wisdom, like chronic conditions, like health issues in general, and just actually anything that like doesn't work in our lives, things that are just like inconvenient or unpleasant or upsetting, are actually one of the greatest things that we experience because it brings us the most information. If you are not, this is actually I'm going to stop here because this is the concept for the next video, but whatever is bringing us pain in our life, right, is actually the thing that's going to teach us the most and bring us closest towards our purpose. Like that's the thing. And because like if I didn't have digestive issues, then I would not have created all of the protocols that I've created for eating that I have. And I would just go about my life like not having any issues and not even knowing that that was something I needed to work on. And I've learned so much about food and about my body and just about like systems in general because I had to, because it was necessary, because it was required, right? Okay, I am actually going to leave this video here. But I just think this is so cool. And if you're staying to the end of my videos, like, I think that's so awesome. And I appreciate you so much because like I said, they're a little bit all over the place. But yeah, I actually love it. I actually really love it. And I'm excited that you're here and I'm excited that we're going on this journey together. So I'll see you in the next video, whatever that is and whenever it happens.